What's up, team? So this is the last week of the 2019 February Open. 19-point thruster. Everyone expected it to be thrusters, as usually in the last workout it's thrusters, and surprise surprise, it's thrusters. It's basically a Fran on steroids. The workout is 33, 27, 21, 15, 9 of thrusters at 43 and 30 kilograms and chest to bar pull-ups. So thrust, basically Fran with, whatever that is, 60 extra reps and chest to bar pull-ups instead of pull-ups. So I've broken this down into two versions of people, basically. One, beginner, he would just like to finish, or she would just like to finish, and a pro would like to get a competitive score. I'd say maybe under 10 minutes is the goal. Considering Matt Fraser, who probably will win this one because he's insane at thrusters and pull-ups, got it just under 7 minutes. I think anything under 10 would be a good score. So for the beginner, this is for someone that really struggles with thrusters, aren't very efficient, and maybe can't string pull-ups together. I made this very simple, just break everything down from the start into small manageable sets and take very little rest in between sets. I'd say you work out your sets according to how much you think you can do. I spoke to Anna earlier. She doesn't think that she'd efficiently be able to do more than 5 sets, 5 reps per set, basically. So for her, I would say do 5 sets of 5 for 33, do 5 sets of 5, that brings you up to 25, and then 2 sets of 4, which brings you up to 33. Because it's small sets, you'll literally just drop the bar, don't even step back, just stand up straight, take good 2-3 breaths, and then go back and do the next set. 27, I'd break it down into 3 sets of 5, which brings you to 15, and then 3 sets of 4, which brings you to 27. Voila. 21, this is where you're going to start going faster. Because from now on it's really just Fran. If you've ever done Fran, you know that you do the 21s on, well, unless you're maybe struggling with thrusters, you do the 21 unbroken and that 15 kills you. But since you're already more than halfway through the reps, you've really only got 45 reps left at thrusters and pull-ups, so obviously 90 reps, but you know what I mean. If you can push a little harder, do 3 sets of 7. If you're still struggling and still unable to do bigger sets than 5, go for 3 sets of 5, or 3 sets of 5 plus 2 sets of 3. If you can, maybe do 1 set of 6 and 3 sets of 5, that's great, depending on how you can push it. Bearing in mind that by this time you've done 60 reps already, and, well, you've done 120 reps already, if you can, counting the pull-ups as well. Which you are, because this is what you're going to do exactly for the pull-ups. So carrying on, 15, just do 5 sets of 3 sets of 5, sorry. If you have to do 5 sets of 3, do that, but try and stick to round 3, that's round 4 or 5 reps. Don't go lower than that if you can. Round of 9, you're done. This is the last 18 reps. So you're going to go all out. Try and go unbroken. If you can't, go 5-4. Don't go to failure on anything, especially the thrusters. With overhead stuff, once you go to failure, you're failing. It'll take a long time to recover. So, moving on to pro. I just called it pro. Elite athlete, or whatever you want to call it. Broke it down a little bit more, broke it down into thrusters on its own and chest to bars on its own, and I put in a time just to give you an idea how much time you'd have. I calculated this as roughly 3 to 4 seconds per thruster, and chest to bars is 1.5 seconds, depending on how efficient you are. But you should be able to do, if you fall in this bracket, if you're going to get under 10 minutes, you should really be able to do a chest to bar almost every second. But let's call it 1.5, 2 seconds. Okay, so Thrusters, I'm going to do thrusters first, then chest to bars. Thrusters, I'd say also start breaking it down from the start. If you looked at Matt Fraser and Claire Toomey on during the live announcement, Tia, I believe, broke at 19 and Matt at 20. That's fair enough. If you can do that. But I'd say if you can break it a little bit more from the start, more manageable sets, that's probably going to save you some energy. I don't know if Matt Fraser does any redos in this Open, but I think if he was to redo anything, he'd probably break it down a little more. So yeah, I'd say break it down into the 33, break it down into 17 and 16. That basically gives you a minute to do 17 and a minute to do 16, which is quite a lot. It should give you, a good rest in between them. It should maybe give you time to chalk up between sets or chalk up after that before you go into the pull-ups. Pull-ups, because it's a faster movement and Anyway, bless me, excuse me. Okay, I'll get to the pull-ups later. Round of 27, I'd say break it down into 14, 13. I know that's small sets, and I know that for most people that has done Fran, which if you are in this category, you definitely have done Fran. 14's a very small set. 14's a joke, but you're not even halfway through the workout. You've still got loads of reps to go. So be conservative and rather save the energy to go unbroken on maybe even the 21, 15, 9. Best case or worst case scenario, just the 15 and 9s. Excuse me. So break it down into 14 and 13. That gives you 90 seconds, which is 45 seconds for each one. I calculated it as it should take you about 35, maybe 40 seconds. It's not a long rest for the 14, but you should be able to do that fine. 21, if you can go unbroken, and knowing that you can go unbroken for the 15 and 9, then do that. But I'd say maybe best case scenario or best plan is to probably break that down as well into very small sets, 11 and 10. I know it's very small, but that gives you just that little bit of a fudge factor, so you can push harder and faster on the 15s and 9s. I gave you a minute there, which should be enough. That should take you about 30, maybe 25 to 30 seconds, and then the 10, 20 seconds. By this time you're tired, and you should be pushing. You should be going really hard on this one. So 15s and the 9s, I'd say go unbroken on both the pull-ups and on the chest to bars and the thrusters, just because at this point you're pretty close to the finish. You've only got your 24 reps to go. Yeah, I'd definitely say go unbroken for them if you can. Obviously, if you can't, then don't be stupid, but you should be able to go unbroken. For the chest to bars, I obviously gave you a little less time because it's a lot faster to jump back up, and mentally it's easier to jump back up to a bar than go down and pick up a bar to do a thruster. So 33s, still 17 and 16, make it manageable sets. You should be able to do 33 unbroken if you are an elite athlete, but I wouldn't advise you to do that. If you look at Claire Toomey, she, on the last round of 9s, she wasn't even able to go unbroken on that. So if she were to do anything different, I'd definitely say she'd break up the pull-ups maybe a little more efficiently. I don't know, I can't remember how she broke it up, to be honest. It was very early and I am still half asleep right now. So yeah, break it up. Rather take a small rest, even if you just drop down, shake out, jump back up, 2-3 seconds rest. It's not going to make that much of a difference in time, but it's going to make a massive difference in saving your energy for going unbroken in the 21-15 nines. 27, 14 and 13, again, I know small sets, sound stupid, trust me, you need that break. Don't be cocky. If you carry on with this time and you stick to these timings, it's going to give you a time of 8:30, which isn't very slow. I believe it's only about a minute after Tia Claire, and yeah, maybe a little more, probably about a minute and a half off of Matt Fraser's time, which I think is great. I'd be super happy with that. I won't get that. I'm not going to do it because I'm still not 100%. I still can't squat with my calf without feeling any pain, so that's not going to happen. It's not about me, sorry. Okay, so chest to bars. Once you get to 21, if you can, it's small, really a small rep range. I definitely try and go unbroken. Worst case scenario, you can break it down as you would the thrusters 11 and 10. Quick drop down. I gave you a small amount of time here because it's quick. You should be able to really crank out those pull-ups. So yeah, that is my tips and strategies for 19-point thruster, 19.5. I hope you guys smash this. I hope you enjoy it. Have a great time in the last week of the Open. I hope you guys smash the Open. If you did find this helpful, please do like and subscribe. Your support really means the world to us. And we'll see you with tips and strategies for the Open anyway in October. Other than that, stay tuned for following videos. Anna will do this and we'll probably do a commentary on it. And then, yeah, enjoy.